All right, welcome to Top Talkers. Kurt's made his way over here to join the panel today. Alison, Sandor, and Rick Gibbons both joining us from CFRA. Great to have you back on the panel. Interesting article, actually, front page of the Ottawa Citizen today. And we're talking about the CHEO Dream of a Lifetime. And it's a wonderful charity. It's a wonderful excitement that builds around this. And there's always one winner. And so the winner in 2011 was Mike Vio and his parents, Madeline and Maurice Vio. So Mike bought the tickets and then actually, as a gift, a Christmas gift, put all three of their names on and then handed it over to his parents as part of their kind of Christmas celebrations. Mike had actually left his home and had moved in with his parents to be able to take care of his ailing father who had Parkinson's. He has since passed away. Right now, the newest developments, as of February 14th, the mom has launched a lawsuit stating that she wants 2/3 of the earnings of this ticket. It's become very much a family feud. Rick, I'm going to come to you first in terms of what are your initial thoughts on this story?
Well, be careful what you wish for. I think this kind of thing happens an awful lot more often than a lot of people know. When there are lottery winnings, everybody wins, and you know they have the best intentions at the outset, and very often it ends up in family squabbles, and that's obviously what this is. But there's some strange elements to this.
Yes,
he bought the tickets and gave them as a gift to the parents, which would suggest that they would have ownership of at least a significant portion of the winnings.
Right. It seems to me it should be a third apiece if there are three names.
Right, and now that the father's passed away, it should be half and half. But the thing for me is this is just totally unimaginable. To me, family means more than money, and it just, when I read this article, it really struck a chord with me because here's like a mother and her son who can't agree on what was it, $2.5 million home? I've been to this house. I was there when they always show it off to the media. This thing is huge.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you can't
Well, they
split
actually
house.
sold it for $1.2 million in July. And the proceeds of the home are currently frozen because of this dispute. I know the son had moved in to help out, and there was some, I think, some sharing of the cost of the home they were living in, the parents' home at the time. But now this has developed into a full-scale family squabble. And you see this all the time, and usually, it doesn't matter what the amount is, usually money is at the bottom of these things. I mean, you see it all the time when family members pass away and there's a will, and there's money left behind or property or so on. Families get involved and it gets nasty.
There's several things that I want to bring up because we don't realize what's happening on the other end, that there could be other family members involved. We don't know, we don't have all of the details right now of the stories and what is likely become a bigger family feud than what we may imagine. But I want to know your thoughts on the actual gift giving, because when he says it was a Christmas gift, but it wasn't to split in 3 ways. Mike saying he never intended to hand over the prizes to his parents, let alone title to $1 million home. So how do you, what's gift giving? What do you consider that?
This isn't a roll up the rim to win, right? I buy you a coffee and I get the pay. It's a little bit more significant than that. I think if you're handing it over as a gift and it's clearly identified as such, the winnings are intended to be a gift too. I think that's fairly straightforward. That's why I agree with you. I think there's probably more to this story than we're hearing right now.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing out on one side completely. We don't know why the mother is taking her son to court. I mean,
she wants some money.
Well, we don't know the reasons behind why they can't split it.
She believes she's entitled to 2/3.
But we don't know
because he doesn't want to give it up. He's basically said, I don't want to, it wasn't my intention to give it. Well, what was your intention is my question. I'm not saying right or wrong, but what initially was your intention by putting your parents' names on the ticket, first of all, and then presenting them as a gift? What were your intent? Was the gift the piece of paper? Because ultimately that's what the gift turns out to be if you're not willing to share the proceeds from the winning.
And you're seeing the OLG really step to the plate on this particular issue. A lot of advertising about making sure everybody's name is on and paid up. I know I've had employees in the past who have had very informal groupings like that. And I've always said make sure everybody's name is on and everybody's paid up because you don't want to squabble that could really impact.
Well, doesn't OLG provide a form and so on that you fill out, and it's legally binding?
Now, CHEO does have something like that, and they have always said that the prize will go to the first name on the ticket. So they have something in place. They said once this is out of our hands, it's been handed over. CHEO has nothing to do with this. And unfortunately, CHEO's name is being brought into this when they're about to launch into another chair. I feel bad in terms of that situation, that there's a negative connotation.
They make it quite clear from the outset. You read the rules, and nobody ever does, read the rules when it comes to these tickets, and when you buy them, and you know, when you sign your name, this is what it means. They step back from the whole thing. They're a charitable organization who's trying to raise some money. They're not going to get involved in family squabbles.
Can I ask asking it from a different perspective? Say she wasn't 80 years old. What if we were looking at a 25-year-old kid who'd won this and shared with his parents who were in their 50s? Do you have any different outlook on it there?
I still think that they should be splitting it. You know, the father passed away, split it down the middle. You said it was a gift, so make it so. You know, it'd be a different story if they still had the house, they still lived in the house. Then it's like, hey, fine, don't hand over the entire deed, maybe you can live together. But I just find it's kind of tragic that it's gotten to this point. I mean, it brings out the worst in you, money, and this is one of those examples of how greed can really tear apart people.
Sure can.
Who went to the media is the question. Like, who wants to get this out there, and which one of this involved in this?
Gary Dimmock wrote the story. Very good reporter.
Yes.
I don't know who went to him. I suspect these things inevitably flow from a lawyer or two.